All right, man. Talk your talk. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Man, I'm good. I'm glad. I'm glad to be in here with y'all. I'm glad to be in here with y'all. All right, man. So look, man. All right, man. So today's episode, uh, Kendrick Lamar still hitting him up against his head top with these visuals, man, and these hidden codes. I got a couple of videos coming out about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be dropping a lot of videos this week, and I'm gonna be doing another live on Friday to do a recap, of course. So hope y'all week is gonna go well this week. But yeah, so let's get into it. Before I get into that, I gotta get my spill. This is Towards Yourself. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I'm servicing on subscribers over 17,000. And yes, I am the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm getting up there. 17,000, 25,000. I will be giving away a nice size cash prize. So make sure y'all in here for that. All right, so look, man. And I'm really serious about that. I'm really gonna give away a nice size cash prize. Like, I know people probably like, oh, you're lying, bro. Like, nah, I'm dead serious. So yeah, make sure y'all tap in for that. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so let's check in with Fantastic Hip Hop, see what he got to say. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Let's get it. Let's go.
Question we really need to figure out what this is that now currently with Kendrick Lamar and his Luther music video, really with all of the subliminal messages and details that are being uncovered within this latest work from the current king of hip hop, this thing could really be an entire movie with everything that needs to be discussed here. And now seemingly what is most important about what Kendrick has just given us are the details that are seemingly telling us that this video is much more than just a victory lap for Kendrick, SZA, and this smash record. And really, it's not just any ordinary music video. It's a preview and really sequel to the first GNX trailer, which is telling us where this era and album is going from here, with what will end up becoming an entire new collection of music from Kendrick. And now before we go any further into what's really going on here, and how we know Kendrick...
I'm just gonna say this. I used to do film. Kendrick Lamar is the master of B-rolls. He don't really even rap as much in the camera. He's not animated. His videos are like watching living or live portraits. That's what his videos are like, watching live portraits. Like an actual going to a theater and watching them old movies where they didn't have no voice, they just had the words and then they did stuff. It kind of gives me that feel. Like this is like watching a moving portrait or a moving sculpture. That makes sense. How can a sculpture move? But you know what I'm saying? That's kind of fire though. Let's keep it going.
is trying to tell us something very important. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and as we are right around the corner from Kendrick Lamar creating one of the biggest moments in hip-hop history with his tour and also more music, really be sure to leave that like. And so now with that said, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar and what's going on, it really has never seemed like a better time to be a Kendrick Lamar fan, because both for what he has revealed in this actual video itself, and beyond all the speculation, what we know Kendrick has really been doing within the industry outside of what he has given us here. We do know for sure that Kendrick is more locked in than ever right now, and he is still working on new music, and so at the very least in this moment, before we even try and get into the actual clues, with both music videos and comments about songs that nobody has heard but that other artists who worked on the first GNX record worked on, we do know that Kendrick already has more music ready to go before his tour even...
Yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think the next song is gonna be Peekaboo. I think that it's gonna connect to this song, and I think that the reason why it's certain scenes that I believe that they put in place for a reason. And I think they put some of these scenes where it's going to be a continuation into the next video. So I'm thinking that it's going to be Peekaboo, and I think that something's going to happen to the girl in the first video, and Kendrick's going to go get his revenge. You know what I'm saying? Because he says, hey, 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 that's my bitch. Hey, 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 this ain't one to play with. Hey, hey. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be dark. I think the next video is going to be dark. Like, I'm talking like, probably like, they're going to probably censor some shit. Like, that's how I feel. But let's keep going.
Starts. And the question we really need to figure out what this is that with all of this noise and that with Kendrick working, what exactly is he about to release next? And more than that, how everything in terms of the clues and messages he left within this Luther video fit into everything he wants us to know for what's about to come from his vision. And so now, of course, with this latest genre-stopping moment that Kendrick has delivered, this Luther video is really the key to it all, and it has given us more to talk about and uncover than the near entirety of what every other rapper has put out musically this year, because of course, in typical Kendrick Lamar fashion, and more than ever on the run we are seeing from him right now, the presentation and storytelling is not just more interesting than what other rappers are doing in their music, but
I'll be honest with y'all. I definitely think that
because of course, in typical Kendrick
I definitely think that this was a missed opportunity right here. I definitely think that the Black Hippies should at least did 2 albums. This was a total missed opportunity. Total. I think they should, and I think they should still do an album. I think if they did an album now, anything that Kendrick Lamar touches is going to be magnificent. But I definitely think that this, to me, was one of the most, this was one of the biggest missed opportunities, and Slaughterhouse breaking up was another missed opportunity. I definitely don't think that they should have broke up. I think that they should have somehow got off Shady and did what they had to do, because the first album of Slaughterhouse was magnificent. That was a great album. The second album with the one with the Shady joint, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the first one. And then the Glass House joint, I heard some of that. That was pretty decent. That was actually pretty good. But the mixtape they had was better than the album and the first album. But the first album was phenomenal. But yeah, they got a couple of songs together, Black Hippies, but they definitely should have did an album. Definitely. That's just a side note.
Lamar fashion, and more than ever on the run we are seeing from him right now, the presentation and storytelling is not just more interesting than what other rappers are doing in their music, but honestly this is such a well-directed video, it's more interesting than most movies coming out right now as well, and I mean really in the entire GNX era from Kendrick Lamar. When we look at this story he has been giving us more and more of with the visuals, this one that we got really seems like it's going to end up being just as important, if not more, than the album's trailer, because once again, the main spot that Luther was filmed in is the same place that we have seen from that trailer, and from the way we see this location get expanded on here, and once again see that visual symbol and icon of the GNX used to tell us what's going to happen, what we do know for sure about this is that this is now the 4th time we have officially seen the GNX car released in an official interview, video, or performance from Kendrick Lamar, and again, as the last time we saw this car, we were teased an album without even knowing.
I actually got a question about this, right? How do y'all feel about Kendrick Lamar's acting? Even though he did one scene, which was pretty good. Do y'all think he's a better actor than Drake? I know that's a generic question, but I just had to ask that because it was on my mind last night, and I wanted to ask that, but I'm asking it today. Do y'all think that's actually to be the question of the day? Do you think Kendrick Lamar is a better actor than Drake? Off of him acting in Power, I believe it was Power. 50 Cent, that's another misstep. He should have paid Kendrick as much as he could or whatever he asked for to do a whole series about that guy. Just a whole series about his life and all the stuff that he had to do and how he became who he was, how he became crazy. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, that would have been epic. That would have been epic. Like some of these people, sometimes I think they have these characters and I'm like, why you didn't make a show about him? Should have made a show about that character that Kendrick played. The whole show should have been about him and how he grew up, how he became who he was, and everything. That to me is different from just gangster shoot 'em up, trying to be better than Omar, trying to have a character better than Omar or Marlo. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, think. You know what I'm saying? Do something that is much more deeper than the typical drug selling, shoot 'em up, girl stripping show. You know what I'm saying? Like drug, you know.
And then we got that album, and then we saw the biggest hip hop performance ever at the Super Bowl. I mean, just going off that, whenever we see the GNX car out here, literally the entire genre of hip hop ends up shifting, and we end up seeing a massive moment that just changes everything. And from the fact that we are facing it like this, and then even more than just seeing the GNX, which is something we did see at the Super Bowl, beyond that, we are back in the original location where the trailer is from, but we are seeing much more of what was going on there. I mean, honestly, what it seems like Kendrick is doing with this room and the constant motif of the GNX is creating the same narrative structure that we saw on a record like T-Pab within a visual way, where we are understanding more with the more videos we get instead of just going further through the track list. And within this revolving door of sorts with the GNX car, the most telling part, and what is really going to be the most important thing of this entire video, I think, as it really also just opened up one of the most interesting mystery boxes in all of rap in terms of what Kendrick is about to pull off, is the detail where we are able to see the GNX in the background with a red cover over it. And I mean, while everyone is trying to figure out what this exactly means, and why Kendrick Lamar was pointing and doing the thing that he did here as well, which again, just this one small detail is requiring more thought than the entire output of what hip-hop has given us this year so far.
That's 100% facts, and I said that. I said that last night on my live stream, or the night before last. I said that. Make sure you go check out those 2 episodes too. I broke those up. Make sure y'all go check them out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's crazy. That he really is putting a lot of thought-provoking music in the air, and visuals would make people think. We all sitting here breaking down this video. We're fascinated by what he's doing. We're breaking down all of these videos that Kendrick is doing, and people are still finding stuff from Squabble Up. Like they still finding stuff from that video. That's crazy.
I think while everybody is trying to figure this out, and realistically we don't know exactly what Kendrick is trying to say, I think whatever the message really is, he is trying to let us know here, which, just to reference back to past work, is something we saw in the Family Ties music video, and that of course ended up starting the entire Mr. Morale era, and then of course with the car and the color red over it itself. Overall, it really seems like with this cover, the color, and what we see Kendrick do, which again, it's also important to note that Kendrick is in the exact same outfit that he was in the first GNX trailer, or at least it looks like that, is that he is switching gears and there is some shift happening that is going to reposition and expand how we perceive this record as a whole. And now whatever this is revealing is most likely going to be a continuation but shift for what this era has given us, and really what this makes it seem like is that Kendrick is going to be giving us a GNX2, a deluxe version, a side B, or whatever else you want to call it. Because when you look at the switch that Kendrick is trying to make with this color red here, which really does seem like the ultimate turning point, because when you look at the colors that have defined GNX in this era so far, the primary color has really been blue, which has been symbolized by all of Kendrick's outfits and hats, whether that's from the Super.
Yo, I've been saying this. I said he's going to come out with a red version of the album. Because he came out with a blue version, he's going to come out with a red version. I've been saying this. Thank you, Fantastic Hip Hop, for pointing that out. But the King been saying this for a minute. I'm telling y'all. I pay attention to colors, and he's been wearing blue, 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 blue. I think even Dodger Blue, all of this on that record. I'm telling you now, he's going to come out with either a part 2 or a deluxe version. He comes out with a deluxe version of the album, and it's the same amount of songs, and it has all red or whatever song on there, Dodger Red, I don't know, like Red Sox or something. Like, it's going to be crazy. I'm telling you.
Squabble Up, or just from the trailers and releases he has been putting out. And so all of the sudden, this color being added into the mix of the visual identity for this record, it really does have to mean something. And even taking things a level beyond that, aside from a new color, there are so many other aspects in this video that represent a shift, change, and expansion of what we already have seen and know. And this is made very clear from multiple signals that are left in the video for whatever reason, which again, you can clearly see this symbolized from the real changes, which you can see throughout multiple different moments in the video, to even just parts of this when we see this GNX trailer room expand and open up from different angles and understand and see parts that we couldn't see before. And again, on this idea of expansion and opening doors up, It's so prominent with all of this, and really when it comes to this idea, there is another central detail and choice about the storytelling and direction of this video that is just signaling this idea of a shift even more. And what this is, and while the Drake fans are trying to make fun of this because they just can't actually understand that artists want to put detail and make their fans think about their work, it is so integral. And what I am talking about is the choice of shapes that are being used in the video, because aside from the colors starting to shift from blue to red like we are seeing with the GNX cover, once again adding to this idea of transition and change. Just like we saw with the trailer where things were moving forward and we were rolling into the next era, here with everything being circular as well, it seems like we are rolling into another chapter for Kendrick, and another chapter that is going to be saying a lot. Because when we break down everything Kendrick has...
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that. Well, I did pay attention to the circular, but he said rolling in, so gotta give him a shout out for that. Circles rolling in, you get it? But no, I think that was pretty clever from him. Yeah, I think that a lot of these things is, we're gonna see why when it all comes together, because I think it's gonna come together like a big puzzle. A big puzzle is gonna come together. I'm telling you right now, we have missed a whole lot of stuff because the other pieces haven't been presented yet. But once this piece is presented, then people gonna go back to that. Oh, that's what that meant. Oh, this is that meant. Yeah, I'm telling you now. Watch.
Done within his videos, where something like Squabble Up was an isolated moment which was embodied by the video being filmed within a literal box where the storytelling and narrative was linear. Here everything is so expansive and moving in different directions that we really just can't even tell where all of it's gonna go at times. And so with this, and even with other details in this video which are at the very least just adding more world building to this entire record, as we see such small details as the TV off in the diner scenes, which is of course alluding to that track. Overall, if you piece all of this together and you are a Kendrick Lamar fan, or just like seeing rap music at its very peak, we are lucky, because at the very least, we do know we are going to be getting something new very soon. And when it comes to what Kendrick is exactly going to be putting out, based on both the clues we are seeing here and this idea of duality from the first trailer kind of being changed and explored in a way where it looks like things are shifting, and just knowing where the industry is at as a whole, I don't think we're going to leave the GNX era yet, but I think we are going to be getting a new album's worth of material in some form that will be a...
I think I'm gonna get my hair done like that. He got about the same size forehead I got, so I could probably get away with it. His forehead is about the same size as mine. I think I could probably get away with it too. I think I could get away with it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get my hair done like that. Yeah. I wear this crown to cover my forehead up. I was always push it down like this, like, oh, look at his forehead. I hate my forehead. I ain't gonna lie. That joint right there. Look at that. That joint right there. I used to have my headlines be right here, and I was going to these barbers, and they kept pushing my headline back. Now I got all my hair. My hair is now. I ain't losing my hair, but it's just cause my hair long as hell. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that hairstyle. I don't know why I just told y'all that. That was FYI. Shh, don't tell nobody.
Continuation of the project, because really, and what I think was most telling about this video was that from what we could see, there was only one GNX present in the room, which in the past we were able to see two very clearly. And now, as we know for Kendrick Lamar, that another music video has already been filmed for something that we don't even know what it is yet, where the GNX was spotted outside. And also with that, that will mark the first time in this era and on camera where the GNX is going to be found not in this room from the trailer. I mean, what it seems like is that however you want to try and tell the story, that one half of the story of GNX is now over, and that's why we are not seeing both cars together, or maybe even that explains the cover on the one. And again, while all of that detail and storytelling is pretty concrete in terms of what it's trying to represent, although we don't know where it's gonna go, I'm gonna make a reach here, but follow me. What I think really may be extending Kendrick's elite storytelling, and maybe could be another way of telling us that another album or something very big is gonna come like it, is back to that visual where we are seeing the GNX with a red cover on it, and in this frame, we see one of the rooms that opens up to the bigger room in the GNX trailer, which based on the way it looks. First off, when we go to the first GNX trailer, it looks like this could have been that same door that was opening up to reveal the room, which ultimately welcomed us into that era. And now when we actually see the room that Kendrick was coming from, It reminds me of two different things which both function in the same way, as whether we want to look at this room and its layout as a nod to Mr. Morale and that record's cover, which just based on the colorway and kind of some of the stuff in it, it almost seems like that, but all
That's what I said. I said that his clothing and the color scheme is the same exact thing. And I think that he's coming from the place of Mr. Morale looking at the bad things that he's about to do. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, that's kind of like what it looks like. It looks like he's looking at that's the other side of him. You know what I'm saying? Like the evil side of him or the bad side of him. Let's keep it going.
also, and what the whole shape and design and vibe it's giving off really reminds me of, which is Melfi's office from The Sopranos, which if you have seen that show, I mean, the scenes that went down between Tony and her in that office mirror the entire theme and message of what Mr. Morale was about. You could say I'm reaching here, and please let me know what you think about this. But I don't think it's far off to say that this visual is a past era that Kendrick Lamar has went through with Mr. Morale, and then what we are seeing Kendrick doing with that same outfit and the red cover over one of the cars, just like we have seen the Mr. Morale era open up and end there. This is the end of part 1 of GNX. And again, I could be reaching, but no matter how you want to take in all of the messaging on this track and video, no matter what symbols and details you think hold up and what is really enhancing the story, I think this clear idea of transition and also the fact that we know Kendrick already has more music videos done, which we have seen by finding out that he has been working on stuff that did not end up being here. I mean, overall, what is clear is that Kendrick is really just getting started within this era and time in his career, and with all of the momentum he is getting, because as we have seen with the Luther video, this thing is breaking so many records and is just leaps and bounds above the competition and other black and white videos that tried to come at Kendrick. I mean, just get ready to see more and more experiences that are going to elevate and transcend everything we know as hip-hop fans. And as this is all leading up to what's about to be an all-time great tour for Kendrick, I mean, we are just so lucky that this is where we are at, as we are really watching what is becoming one of the greatest runs from any artist ever right in front of us. And while it may be hard to fully tell what this move means from Kendrick right now and what's actually going to happen with it, just reading the room of where we are at and knowing everything he is still up against along with his plans that are so clear, I think we can certainly say that no matter what is exactly going to happen, we're going to be seeing a lot more of Kendrick Lamar very soon, and we will be getting more music. And so now with all that said, let me know. What do you think about
All right. With all that said, let me know. All right. So look, this is my thing. And that's what and maybe I said this before, but it just hit me. I realized what not like us really means. I know what it means, but I don't think I ever said this on camera. I know that it means that Drake is not like us in the black culture, but the whole song, the video, is all things that black people do. That's letting him know that he's not like us. Everything he did in that video, that everything. And I know a lot of y'all be like, man, I been knew that. I been knew that. That's crazy that you just caught that. You supposed to be the king. You supposed to catch everything, bro. That's crazy. Like, I understand. I probably did know, but I don't think I said that. But yeah, everything that portrayed in that video, not like us, he's showing him that. But I also believe that Kendrick Lamar is very proud of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I think that that's probably his favorite album, be honest with you, because he's always referencing that album. He's always referencing that. And I'm starting to think that that album to me means the most out of all the albums he ever did in his career. Like all the albums he did, to me, I think To Pimp a Butterfly is the best. I think Good Kid, Mad City is the second. And I think that GNX is third. But I'm going with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers as number 4. But it's a close 4. And I do believe that over time it's probably gonna be number 2. I'm not even gonna lie. Because there's so much going on in that album that it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. I think the other ones just had a bigger and better impact in that one. So, but yeah, man. So tell me what y'all think. What y'all think? Y'all seen some things that I didn't see? Some clues. Also, too, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna say it again. Listen, man. I was the first to point this out. I know a lot of people online is saying, oh, look, I don't think nobody noticed this. Nah, if you look and see, I did the video first, and I said it first, and I'm just gonna take claim for it. I'm taking claim for that. I'm taking claim. I'm taking claim. I was the first person to point this out. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people were saying they was, but if you look at the time, you look at my thumbnail, it's on my thumbnail. If you look at when I released it, yeah, I was the first person to point it out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I wasn't. Maybe Kendrick Lamar was because he was the one that thought of it, whoever who thought of it. But yeah, I was that guy. I was that guy. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to put that out there. All right, man. Y'all enjoy yourself. I'll see y'all again on the next one. Peace. Bye.